My husband, 32M, revealed to me, 30F, that he may want to have children someday. I'm coming up on the time to renew my birth control and we were talking about our options. I don't really want to go through having another thing implanted or taking meds that make me feel horrible, so I floated the idea of my husband having a vasectomy. We've agreed to be child-free since before we were married, so I thought this suggestion would be a good one. My dear friends on Reddit, it was not a good one apparently. I got a little speech on how he would feel weird taking his ability away to ever have children, which confused the hell out of me because I have been very clear since the beginning of our relationship that I will not be having children, and if that was something he wanted he needed to be with someone else. We've been together a while and I have asked him multiple times if he's sure he would not want to have children because I am not having or raising any, and he never balked at it. I simmered on this for a few days to get my thoughts together, finally had the courage to ask him, do you want to have children? He stayed silent and ruminated on the question over what felt like an eternity, and answered I always envisioned myself having one. Having a vasectomy means I can never do that, no matter what, and that doesn't really sit right with me. The way my stomach dropped through the floor happened so fast I thought I shit myself. Where was this 7 years ago? 2 years ago when we got married? He's had years to voice this, multiple chances where I brought it up to make sure he is sure and give him a way out, so I'm not really sure where to go from here. I'm not ever having children, I've known this for most of my life. I feel like I'm taking this away from him, which is what I never wanted to do to anyone. So Reddit, my question is, have you ever been the one who wanted kids and ended up with someone who didn't? Did you regret not having kids, or end up leaving? I know everyone's situations and mindsets are different, but I just want to know if anyone has been in something similar to me and if it worked out. Edit 1. Since I've gotten a couple questions on this, I want to clear things out. I have gotten a consultation for a tubal ligation, and due to some existing health issues it would not be a good idea for me to get the surgery. Otherwise these tubes would have been flung into the trash years ago. Edit 2. Since I've seen multiple comments on this, I'm just also gonna address this here. My issue is not really with him not getting the vasectomy. It's his reasoning behind it. Vasectomies are not as reversible as advertised, and there is the possibility for complications. I'm not trying to downplay that asking for a possibly permanent surgery is a big ask. The focus here is his need to have the door open for children, which from what I see from you all is the big thing we need to discuss. Update. Hi, I'm back. A lot of you commented on my post, so I figured I owed everyone an update. So it was a couple days after the first post that I was finally able to sit him down for a follow-up conversation. I really appreciate everyone who gave me advice going into this. It really helped me figure out the direction I wanted to go in. We had just had our morning coffee, and our mood was good, so I asked him if he was in a headspace for a big conversation. Of course he essentially said, well, now you've got to tell me anyways, otherwise I'll wonder. I told him I wanted to talk more about his stance on children and if that is something he feels he needs, and I want to make sure we're still on the same page. You guys, the way he looked at me was so shocked and asked, where is this coming from? Like we hadn't just had a huge convo about birth control a couple days prior. I was stunned. I explained that his reasoning, not the fact that he didn't want to get the vasectomy, made me nervous that he does want to have kids someday. I told him the phrase always envisioned myself having kids is what really got to me and made me the most anxious. He grabbed my hand and immediately apologized for the way he said that. He explained that yes, he always thought that maybe he would have a kid or two growing up, but that isn't his dream in life per se. He also explained that the world is not one he would currently even want to raise a child in. Well, I followed that up. If hypothetically all the conditions were right, world gets better, our finances are better, etc. If he thought that would increase from would be nice to I've got to have it. Also took this moment to reiterate that I am not having children, so if he thinks that it's something he actually wants, we need to have a bigger discussion. He took a moment to think, and told me he didn't ever think he would need to have children. He does still maintain that it's a nice idea, but that it's really nothing more than a nice thought. He also said he would not want to raise a family with anyone but me, so if we're not having kids then he's not having kids. I guess a lot of you in the comments called it, he's fine not having kids. I panicked and didn't ask him to elaborate. However, he does agree that choice of words did make it seem like he could have changed his mind. So we're fine, everything's fine. We do still need to figure out a new birth control and whatnot. Thank you to everyone who threw in some more suggestions for both me and Hubs to look into, but I am just so glad that my wonderful husband is still on the same page with me.